Here we are at Pacific Beach State Park, Washington, on the coast. Beautiful, beautiful day, forecasted to be 80. That wind keeps it just a nice, warm temperature. It's very low tide, long, sandy, clean beach. This place is almost filled up today. The girls are getting used to their area. There's people everywhere here with dogs of all types, sizes, and breeds. I've never seen it this busy before. It's like nowadays, everybody, their brother, sister, third cousin, everyone's out here RV'ing. This is the picnic area here, right in the middle of the upper and lower sections of Pacific Beach State Park campgrounds. And it's got a nice little walkway right down to the beach. And you can get it says a wheelchair down here, but once you get to the beach, you're stuck. First, let's take a look north up to the what I consider the upper part of the campgrounds here. I'll turn around so you can look over my shoulder. That's the upper campground area, and that's where I'm at, right up there on the ocean side. There's bathrooms and such up there. We're going to walk down here to the lower end where I believe it's Joe Creek comes out. It goes around the campgrounds and into the Pacific Ocean. Well, every time I come down here to the ocean, I feel right at home. I felt like I grew up in the water. Learned to swim at 5. Took every swimming course there was in. And then I later taught swimming. Mother and child, all the way up to just below life saving. Then I learned how to scuba dive. Scuba dived every chance I got. Then I joined the Navy. And I was at sea and under the sea for years. So, yeah, I'd say not only the mountains here in Puget Sound, but the ocean and the sea has a place in my heart. Seems to be the two places I've spent most of my life. They do have a section with a few yurts in it and an area specifically for tent camping. So it's pretty well mixed here. Here we are at the information board with information about razor clam digging, different kinds of whales, killer whales, porpoises, dolphins, seals, all the critters you might see out there as they move north and south up the Washington Pacific coast. Here's a reader board on what to do in case that tsunami they're predicting ever shows up while you're camping here. And I'll tell you one thing, being familiar with this territory pretty much all my life, if you're on the coast and a tsunami hits, you might as well just sit down and enjoy the view of the incoming wave, because the highways out here are going to be so jam-packed and messed up that you're just going to stress yourself out before the wave even hits you. This is something that wasn't here before on the pilings. Little mementos to people's lost pets. There's one here and there's two larger ones on this piling next to it for Gabby and Joxer. This is a neat way of people on the beach here remembering their pets they walked on the beach so many times for so many years with. And here, also left behind, is some kind of Japanese trinket. I'd like to know what it means. To think Joe Creek, that is now over there, used to be flowing way over here with these in the center of the creek. Just shows how things change season to season on the Pacific coast. Now these are just lonely sentinels facing the ocean. Still, here's more little mementos to people's loved and lost pets. There's one way down here too. You can barely make it out. The ocean and sun and salt air is pretty harsh on these. What do you think, Kate? Kate's just sniffing all the crab carcasses and shells. Here's a group of several mementos to several different pets. There's Andy, Emma and Sophie, Riley, Emmy, and Scout. So these must be fairly new because this was all in the river last time I was here. The river is now way over there. So this is really a nice way to remember where you loved walking with your pet. And we're going to walk a little farther up here where Joe Creek takes a bend. I always often thought what it'd be like to bring a kayak or some kind of inflatable down here and paddle up the river. See how far you can go, as if you were one of the pioneers in the early 1800s exploring all the rivers emptying into the Pacific Ocean on the Pacific coast of Washington. That's the kind of adventures I would love to do. And it's the end of another night here on the Washington Pacific coast. Okay, so here's my new sleeping situation I've changed to. I've got about a 3-inch memory foam pad underneath my sleeping bag. It's at a diagonal angle so I could stretch out in it and not be off the bed if I slept with my head to the back window, my feet forward. So we're going to try to get a little shut-eye. So let's see how this works tonight. Oh, well, my new bed setup works great. I slept so soundly, it was awesome. I tell you, I had that foam pad once fitted for the entire queen-size sleeping bag, and that was it was tough. It was like trying to get out of a waterbed. And I'm glad I got that thing changed. So I went back to the old-fashioned type of sleeping bag where you're not sliding all over the place like you're on ice. And it's padded, it's cotton, nice and warm, insulation. And I took that huge 3-inch memory foam pad, cut it down to the size of the sleeping bag, popped it in here, threw my pillow down, and went off to dreamland. I didn't even feel that metal bar in the couch when it's down in the bed, sort of like a hide-a-bed, because I'm sleeping on it diagonally, and I always had that darn thing in the middle of my back, and I had to situate myself so I was in a pocket where that wouldn't bother me. Kate's barking at some empty chairs out here in the dunes. But yeah, that is nice. And I got all three things: the smaller sleeping bag, the smaller pad, and my pillow packed in my overhead compartment in the cab. Perfectly easy to pull out, push in, pop out. It's the way I wanted it in the first place. So everything takes time, goes through cycles. That's the way it's been with this RV since I bought it. My realization as to how little I truly need in the road has gone through many innovations and changes. I just recently got the right inserts for my little drawers here for all my silverware organization instead of all these individual little vinyl or plastic contraptions that I put in there and squish together. So that's just, I was trying to do what I could with what I had to start with, trying to make it work, and it worked. worked for a couple of years, but finally I decided, heck, the hassle ain't worth the, shall I say, cheapness. But sometimes you have to be that way until you get to the point where you can get the right stuff. So, this is our second day here at Pacific Beach. Well, I was looking here at the map. I was thinking of going farther north up to some of the fantastic rougher northern beaches on Washington, but that would take pretty much a good day in itself, even from here, because you have to go around the entire huge Quinault Indian Reservation, which takes up a huge chunk of the Washington coast, before you get to the Olympic National Park just above it, and the rugged, beautiful northern coastline of Washington. So I'm going to save that for another video when I go up into the Olympic National Park, the temperate rainforest, and camp up there in a beautiful rainforest type area, and explore those beaches at that time. But dang, wish I could go up there. I just don't have the time on this trip to take an extra day that it would take to go clear inland and around the entire Indian Reservation back to the coast, and then up to the Olympic National Park area where all of this beautiful rugged landscape is. So I'll hold off on it until another time, but it's coming. I'm just gonna let Sarah go out there, splash around in the water. She sees those clam shells and crab shells out there, and she wants to go explore and investigate them. Nothing bothers her one darn bit. She's go, go, go. At least this is fresh water, so she won't stink like salt water, but she'll have to be dried off before we go back in. Well, the marine layer has come in this afternoon. The wind's really picked up, and if anyone knows how to muffle the wind noise on my microphone, I'd appreciate it. I've tried this darn dead cat, a foam rubber ball on it. Nothing seems to really muffle this wind, so I don't know how to do it online, but maybe someone can give me some pointers on a better mic system to use. So anyway, as the girls and I always say, we wish you happy trails and woof woof. Catch you later.